Problem 102, we're taking a look at a certain town and having some newspapers for that town. Problem A then wants us to make a two-way table for this information. So I'm going to go through and make my two-way table. My two-way table, I'm going to go through and have the daily newspaper and then not having the daily newspaper on one of the sides. You could do either the top or the left side, it doesn't matter. But the other side is going to be then the weekly newspaper or not the weekly newspaper. I'm then given some information about this. So 65% of the households get the daily. That's going to go there. 37% go under the weekly. And the ones that get both are going to go up in this box here. So again, the daily is 65, the weekly is there, and where they're overlapping, that is our 25. That's where the people that get both. I also know one other piece of information. Since we're dealing with percents, I know that I have 100% as a total. I can now fill in the rest. If 25% are right here, plus that 40% will equal the 65, so I know that's 40. I also know that 25 plus 12 will give me 37. 65 plus 35 will give me 100. 37 plus 63 will also give me the 100. And we have many ways of getting the last box, which represents people that get neither of them, and that is 23. Once I have this information, I now can go ahead and start answering problem B. So it wants us to figure out the probability that it subscribes to at least one of the papers, and I'm going to shade the area first that we're talking about. So if I'm shading the area that we're talking about is going to be those three boxes. There are two different ways I can get this information. One of the ways is by just adding the three boxes that I shaded. So 40 plus 25 plus 12 is going to be 77% of the population gets at least one of the two papers. The second way to think about this is I could take my total here of 65 and my total of 37. Now I got those because I added these together here and I added these together here. Now the problem with that is when I figured out my 65 plus 37, I've added in this 25 now twice. So what I need to do then is subtract that away. So I subtract away that 25, and once again I'm left with 77%. Problem C then wants to figure out if you know they subscribe to a paper, we want to figure out what's the probability that they subscribe to the daily paper. So now that we know that they have subscribed to a paper, that is the 77%. 77% of the population subscribes to paper. That's the only population we are looking at now because we already know that they subscribe to the paper. We don't care about this other 23% here. So out of that, how many of those subscribe to the daily paper? Well, that's going to be our 65. So the answer to problem C then is 65 out of 77.